Today I am going to discuss about conservation of matter in various geospheres. You know about environment. Environment means surrounding. This surrounding is of immense importance for us as well as for living beings because it provides food, shelter, cover, water and so many other things which are required for survival. You also know that environment has two types of resources, that is renewable and non-renewable. Both of these resources are limited. So these may exhaust by uncontrolled utilization of these resources. And you know it very well that the life is possible because resources are there. So once these resources are exhausted, the life on this planet will be drastically affected. Therefore, for sustenance of life, the environmental quality and its productivity should be maintained. And this can be achieved by conservation of environment and its resources. The word environment has been derived from two Latin words, that is con means together and servare means to guard. It deals with practices and customs through which human beings tries to ensure a continuous yield of renewable resources as well as afford protection of non-renewable resources from wastage. In this continuation, today I will discuss the conservation of matter in lithosphere. You know, like water and air, soil is most essential to our very existence on the earth. Soils are the basis of support for most life and a source of nutrients for marine as well as freshwater life. As a natural resource, soil is of immense value to men. And in agricultural orient, the distribution and densities of population have conformed to the persisting patterns of soil fertility and productivity. The main aims of this conservation are to protect the soil from erosion and to maintain soil productivity. You know, for soil conservation, several practical methods or measures, you can say, have been employed. These measures can be broadly grouped into two major groups, that is biological measures and mechanical measures. The biological measures include certain practices such as agronomic practices, agroastrological practices and dry farming. So let us take each of them one by one. The first one is agronomic practices. Agronomic practices are those methods, or you can say these methods are employed in protecting the topsoil by special methods and schemes of crop cultivation. Certain agronomic practices are, first you can say contour forming. Contour forming is practiced in hilly regions or on the slopes. In such areas, the rainwater is absorbed in very little amount because of its quick downward movement on the slopes. The heavy rainfall may cause gully development. Therefore, the slopy areas are plowed and seeded against the slopes in circular furrows around the slopes. The contour catches the downward moving water until it is absorbed in the soil. The ridges reduce the flow of water. The circular rows of plants across the slope check the soil erosion. Thus, contour forming reduces runoff, saves more water for crops, reduces soil erosion, and increase the yield of crops. Now, second agronomic practices is rotation of crops. When the same crop is grown in the field every year, what happens? The soil becomes depleted in certain minerals. The soil loses its fertility even after the use of fertilizer, and ultimately erosion begins. Rotation of crop is an important practice for checking soil erosion. For example, rotation of cereals by legumes is useful in maintaining productive soil. Actually, leguminous plants increases the nitrogen content of the soil. Now, third agronomic practice is strip farming. Strip farming is employed to reduce the velocity of raining water. This involves growing of alternate rows of erosion permitting and erosion resistant crops. In wind strip cropping, tall cereal plants, strip is alternated with short legumes across the direction of wind. Now, next practice is mulching. It involves the covering the topsoil by straw. Mulches of different kinds check soil erosion, increase soil fertility, and minimize moisture evaporation from the topsoil. Various types of surface tillers and crop residues are helpful in obstructing soil erosion. Now, next is agroecological practices. These methods are employed in protecting the topsoil by special methods and schemes of grass cultivation. Certain agroecological practices are: first, cultivation of grasses. Growing grass in rotation with crop improves soil fertility and helps in binding the soil. Besides their role in soil conservation, the grasses provide a good fodder for cattle. Now, second practice is afforestation. Afforestation means growing forest at the place where there were no forest before, owing to a lack of seeds or due to adverse factors such as unsuitable soil, aridity, or swampiness. Plantation of trees in short block is known as windbreak, whereas extensive plantation of trees is known as shelter belt. The plantation of trees is usually done in 2 or 3 belts. Small sized plants are planted on windward side and tall trees on leeward side. These plantations reduce the wind velocity and also check the transport of lifted sand and soil particles. Now, third is checking on overgrazing. Grazing is one of the major causes you can say of soil erosion. Since grazing in all the areas subjected to soil erosion cannot be stopped, a restricted and rotational grazing may be helpful in soil conservation. Now, the third agroecological practice is dry farming practice. In arid regions, an integrated rational system of cultivation of purely rain-fed, drought-enduring and early maturing crops are grow. In this, both organic and inorganic manures are necessary to improve the soil fertility. Now, second measure is mechanical measure. Although the biological practices offer the cheapest ways of soil conservation, it is not always possible to employ them, and so we have to use mechanical measures of soil conservation. These mechanical measures of soil conservation aim at reducing the velocity of runoff water to retain it for long period so as to allow maximum water to be absorbed in the soil. Second, dividing a long slope into several smaller parts to reduce runoff and protection against erosion by wind and water. Now, these mechanical measures include, first, basin leaching. It is, or you can say in this practice, a number of small basins or water reservoirs are made along the contours. Basins collect and retain water for long periods and also catch and stabilize downwardly moving soil on the slope. Now, second mechanical measure is pan breaking. In some areas, formation of hard sheet of clay occurs below the surface of soil, which does not permit infiltration of water. By pan breaking, drainage and percolation of rainwater is improved and the topsoil is saved from residual runoff and erosion. Now, the third is contour terracing. In this, drainage channels are properly spaced ridges or soil mounds are formed along the contour to check soil erosion. These are called terraces. Now, next mechanical measure is contour trenching. A series of deep pits or trenches are made across the slopes at convenient distance. The soil excavated from the trenches is deposited along the lower edge in the form of bunt. On the ridges, trees' seeds are shown. The main objective of contour trenching is to cut off the forces of water by a series of hurdles in the form of these trenches. Contour trenches may be continuous or staggered. Next mechanical measure is gully control. Gully formation along the slope can be checked by first making perimeter bunts around gullies to check flow of water. Second, growing suitable soil binding vegetation on the gullies to check soil erosion. And making diversion trenches around the gullies. So, in the last, I would say that the soil conservation measures discussed today can be employed either singly or in combination as per circumstances or need. So that's all about conservation of matter in lithosphere. In next class, I will discuss about conservation of matter in atmosphere. Thank you.